Hey, Forensic Chemers, this is DW, and I'm on my way back from Israel. When you watch this video, I'll probably be in the air, either arriving at JFK or between JFK and Atlanta. I get to Huntsville around dinner time on Thursday night, so I will see you next Tuesday. But I wanted to record this video to go over the syllabus, which is typically what we do on the first day of class, and just to say how excited I am, like you are, to be together in forensic chemistry, 8 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday. It's going to be a great time. I did decide on a book last semester or last year. I didn't have a book because the one I was using, Bell, uh, Suzanne Bell's book, was out of print. And so I've been going through two or three different books. This is a good one for your library. We're probably going to keep the lecture notes very similar to the way they were in the past. The content hasn't changed that much, but this book, if you'll use it as a reference to reach back into that text when you need more explanation on some of the concepts that are in the notes, that's how I expect you to use it. We're not going to go chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 through this book, but we'll refer to it when we need to for a deeper explanation of the science. We're going to use I will use some multiple choice um, exams in this course, so go ahead and get some Scantrons for your exams. It'll help me get the exams back to you in a more timely manner. And again, you'll need some way of getting onto the internet in class so we can do Kahoots and Quizlets, etc. So my office hours have changed a little bit from the previous semester because this is a Tuesday, Thursday class, and so I wanted to bump the office hours back to 9:30. So really, although if we get out early, you guys can come right up to my office, but my office hours are from 9:30 to 10:30 to make it convenient for you guys. As always, email is the best way to put something on my to-do list. So if you need me to do something like check Blackboard or um, you know, respond in some way, um, then then it's best to use email because then it's in my inbox, my email inbox, and that's my to-do list. If you catch me in the hall and you need me to answer a question, that's fine. You know, I can, if it's something I can do right then there's no need to email me. But if again you need me to do something for you and get back to you, then please use email. Or if you need to schedule an appointment with me, again, use email. The course descriptions are self-evident here. You can read them yourselves. But the big ideas of this course are given here in the student learning outcomes. And so really this course is broken into three components. There's a quality component, a chemistry component, and then a physical properties component. They kind of related to these different concepts listed here in the syllabus. You know, society must have the highest trust in the work of a forensic laboratory. And trust is built upon the ability to verify that your results are repeatable and they're accurate. And so there's going to be a whole section on statistical quality control. And in fact, this is such an issue that I think they're upping the guidelines in the forensic arena for people to have a more advanced treatment of statistics in their educational background. I started including this in the course years ago, but now they're going to require even maybe a whole course dedicated to statistics and quality control. So we will not just do standard deviation and averages, but we'll get back into propagation of uncertainty. We'll look at different ways to calibrate data, and we'll look at using the ANOVA output to determine whether our model is statistically valid or not. We'll also track a variable piece of data all semester, so that will get you in the habit of doing a daily task that's related to forensic chemistry or related to science or analytical chemistry. And so what we'll need to do is you have to have an approved data set. And what that means is I've got several criteria that I know will produce a good control chart. For instance, if you're just going to track daily temperature in Huntsville, that's not in control. When a data variable is in control, it's unchanging. The only thing that causes it to change is noise or a significant event, because that's what you're looking for. You know, if you track the brightness of the source in the UV-Vis spectrometer every time you use it and wrote that down, it ought to be constant until the bulb starts to go out, and then you'll see it drop. So it'll be in control until it's not. But temperature, daily temperature, what's that going to do as we go from winter to spring? It's going to trend upwards. It's not going to be constant the whole semester. So I would not approve tracking temperature, a daily temperature, as a control chart variable because it's not going to be constant the whole semester. However, if you wanted to take daily differences, so if you wanted to take today's temperature and subtract yesterday's temperature, so how did the temperature change from yesterday to today? That will be up and down, but it will be centered on 0. Okay, you'll have some days where it's hotter the next day and some days when it's colder the next day. And so you'll see noise, and it will be plus or minus on top of an average. And that's okay. Daily differences in temperature would be an approved data set. So we'll negotiate that on Tuesday after I get back, and you guys can get ready for the assignments that are related to that. So that's control charting. That's related to the statistical quality control portion of the course. You'll also evaluate drug mixtures and liquid-liquid extraction, learn a little bit about pharmacology and toxicology, learn about spot tests for controlled substances. So you'll understand a lot more about the chemistry of the crime lab in this middle portion of the course. And then any kind of crime scene is going to have physical evidence, not just chemical evidence, but the physical properties of materials. What's the difference between, say, a burn pattern on the floor that's natural versus a burn pattern that is suggestive of arson. There's some chemical signatures of arson that we will study, but there's also some physical properties like a donut burn pattern in carpet. That's a giveaway that somebody poured a flammable liquid on that carpet and set it afire. Okay. The assessment, again, we will do Kahoots and so on just to kind of keep track of attendance, but most of your grade will come from the exams and your homework. Well, all of your grade will come from those two things. So the homework will not be on a cumulative point system like we did last fall. You will have a certain number of points, like 9 points a week for your homework, and that will build up. And let's say after 3 weeks, you've got 27 points on the table. If you have 27 points, at that point you have 100 homework average. But let's say you have only 18 points. Well, you've got a 67 homework average. And so we're going to be doing this on an average basis. The point system had some pros and cons, but I think the cons outweighed the pros. And so I'm going to go back to doing averages for homework and averages for exams. And so you'll have on a 100-point scale how you're doing on the homework the whole semester. And the same with the exams. And then at the end, or at any time in the semester, you can take that homework average and multiply by 0.2, and the exam average and multiply by 0.8, add them together and get your weighted average. So you should have, I guess, a better feel for how you're doing in the course throughout the semester with this average method. This is why I've always done it. I tried the cumulative points last fall, and I didn't like it as well. So I'm going to go back to this. Final exam is on Tuesday, May 5th from 8 to 10. Make your plans accordingly. So you have your problems composition book, and part of your homework is the problems and vocabulary. We'll also allow the Quizlets and so on. I may have to add some verbiage related to those points as well. But the homework will be Thursday night at 11:59, and the control chart will be Tuesday night at 11:59. And each one of those will be worth, I think it's 5 points. 5 points for the homework, 5 points for the control chart. So you get 10 points a week on your end of doing daily or almost daily activity related to the course. But I wanted to split that up. So Tuesday night will be the control chart, whether it be uploading your data, updating your Excel sheet, or actually doing the control chart. And don't worry, at this point you don't know what the requirements are. We'll post requirement documents on Blackboard each time, so you'll know what's required for each assignment. And so that's the homework piece, and then the exam piece is pretty obvious. And I'll tell you what, dishonesty, especially in forensic chemistry, that's going to ruin your chances of ever being anywhere near a crime lab. And so have a high ethic related to your reputation. You want to always put forward your best behavior. Don't cheat, don't lie about being absent, and so on. Um, using someone else's notebook or copying their homework is really cheating yourself, because the whole point of doing work on your end is that you develop the problem solving skills to get unstuck. I mean, everybody gets stuck. You start doing a problem and you get stuck. That's when the learning begins. That's when you actually figure things out. And the world needs people that can figure things out. We're trying to train you to be those people. If you cheat, you're going to be useless. You're going to get out there and you're going to get stuck, and your boss is going to wonder why and how you got a chemistry degree, because you can't figure anything out. And we don't want those kinds of graduates coming from Sam Houston State. We want you to be able to figure things out. So cheating really cheats you. I think that's about it. So I'm looking forward to a great semester, and I'm really happy that we got along well in the fall. We'll get along well in the spring. So it's going to be a great time, and I'll see you on Tuesday, if not sooner.